So, John, 1 point gained or 2 points lost?
I'm still trying to figure that one out, to be honest. One of those games that could have gone any one of three ways. You know, I think we probably a point is a decent result in the end with everything that went on. I think we had chances to win it in the second half, and obviously they've had a brilliant chance with the last kick of the game to win it for them. So, yeah, mixture of emotions. Overall, I've got to say, pleased with the efforts of the players, the attitude of the players today. Very, very difficult conditions for both teams with the wind. I think that really affected the game today. Did make for a scrappy game. And yeah, probably all in all, you'd probably say a decent point.
And in terms of the game, as you mentioned, the wind was a factor. Started off very well. Were you disappointed to only go in the 1 goal up?
Yeah, I think when you have the wind first half, you want to try and get a 2-goal cushion. Obviously, I think it was about 8 minutes we scored. Great break down the right. Dan Bradshaw got away and good bodies in the box. A lot of desire to get in the box, and he crossed well for Sam Granville to head home. Really good start. We had a couple of chances after that. I think we had a goal disallowed as well. 2 goals disallowed for offside. Probably around that half hour mark, I felt that we were looking like we were going to get a second. And I think if we did, obviously we would have had a very good chance of going on and winning the game. We weren't able to do that. At half time, obviously, you talk about the conditions and what you need to do in those conditions. They came out very strong. They scored within 2 minutes, which is, it goes against everything. It's everything that you sort of fear. And at the early goal, because you want to sort of almost the game to go dead a little bit, but it gave them momentum. And I feared for us a little bit in the early part of the half, but what really pleased me was that we found our feet again. I'm sure in a minute we'll talk about the sending off, which obviously we had to cope with going down to 10 men. But I think with 11 and with 10 in the second half, we made chances. We got in off in behind them. We found it easier to get in behind them probably second half than first, with the way the wind held the ball up. Obviously Zidane's extremely quick, and it was a tactic we wanted to use to get in behind, and he's got in twice. And we need to take one of those really, and get yourself 2-1 up, and then you've got a lead to defend. But we weren't able to do that, and as I said at the end, Matt makes a great save from what I think was a cross that looked like it was going in the far post, and he made a great save from that. And then at the end, I think Billy Upton, their centre half, probably 6 yards out, heads it, and Matt gets something on it, then hits the underside of the bar, bounces on the line and comes out. So you could say we were fortunate at the end. They'll certainly feel like that was a chance to win the game. So probably on the balance of everything, a decent point.
And as you say, early on in the second half, weathered a bit of a storm and kind of just started to come back into it a little bit, and then another turning point in the game. There's, in the middle of our half, 2 players go down, Hodgie and Payne, and there looks to be a little coming together, kind of just as the ball goes away. I think everyone's thinking not too much of it, apart from one man on that pitch.
Yeah, I've not spoken to one person that thought it was even a yellow card for Payne.
Well, you might have spoken to one person who thought it was.
Sorry, the one is the referee. Yeah, I've been and spoke to the referee. I was baffled. I had a really good view of it. It was near the dugout where I was. I was aware that their player, Paul Hodgie was on a booking, and they were the two on the ground together. And you always kind of look just in case there's any kind of afters. And I think what happened, my view of it, and I had a very good view of it, was that Payne realised they were probably going to break on us, and he kind of just got his body in the way of. He was lying on the ground, but got his body in the way of Hodgie and the ball. And
what was
the ref's blown his whistle. I mean, the ref probably had a similar view to me, and he's blown his whistle, and I thought at worst, maybe it was a yellow for both, because maybe there's a bit of tussling I didn't see, and then he just produces a red card on Payne, and I know their player really well, and I've spoken to him, and he's described it as the worst sending off he's ever seen. That's their player who Payne was supposed to have headbutted, and I've seen the referee, and he said it was. He said he violently struck him with his head on the lower part of his body. He wasn't. He didn't want to. He clearly didn't want to be specific, and I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. It gave us a huge uphill battle.
But I'm very proud of how we reacted.
I am. But I have to be careful what I say. If we end up losing that game, I'm probably a lot more angry about it. The overriding feeling is that I am proud of the players' performance, that we dug in, and I think limited them to not a huge amount with 10 men. Against the wind with 10 men, I think we acquitted ourselves really well. And as I said, we were always a threat on the break. And we had one brilliant chance where Zidane got in, keeper saved it, and then Asher followed up. And keeper Stradley, who's a good keeper, got up ever so quick and made a second block. But it was a chance we feel we should have scored from. So. Yeah, mixed emotions, but the most important thing for me always, you have to look at the performance, the attitude, the togetherness of the players, and that was all there today. And unfortunately, it hasn't been enough to get the win. But we'll work hard this week and get ready for Hungerford next week.
Two particularly strong performances, as you mentioned, Stradley there as well, and also Matt in our goal. Two really proud of what he did today.
Yeah, Matt was outstanding, and against the wind, he kicked really well as well, which helped us get up the pitch second half. He's been a great signing for us, Matt. I think he's done ever so well. I think there's probably one mistake that we all remember that cost us at the end of the game at Walton, where it was just probably a misjudgment from him. He didn't need to come for the ball, but for a young goalkeeper, I think he's been outstanding. He comes and gets crosses, his shot stopping's good, he kicks well, great attitude. Yeah, delighted with him. He's done really well today.
And finally, a point gained in what was difficult conditions. It wasn't one for the purists, was it?
No.
That's a bit of quality.
Yeah, it wasn't a classic. I think both sides would admit that. On a day like this, you want to get the ball down and play and keep it on the ground, and it probably didn't spend enough time on the ground today from both sides. I think both sides are probably capable of better football than we showed today. But you kind of end up sometimes getting dragged into playing a little bit safe and getting the ball in behind and hooking it on, and the ball spent a lot of time in the air today. And yeah, it wasn't a classic. It was quite a bit of incident, quite a bit of drama, but it wasn't the best footballing spectacle. So we'll take the point and move on.
Yeah, move on to Hungerford next week. Thanks for your time, John.
Thank you.